All right, hello guys. Welcome back to our Microsoft Word series here on Learn.io. Today we're just going to be going over kind of an overview of some of the remaining features that we haven't gone over so far in Word. So without further ado, let's get started. So here we have the References tab. Now this is really useful if you're doing some sort of formal essay or paper, especially one that includes a lot of research. So in this, you can kind of do all of your citations, you can add endnotes, footnotes, all sorts of stuff. You can use this to help create your citations or create a proper full-on bibliography. There's a whole bunch of things you can do with that. So if I insert an endnote here, you can see if I had like kind of a reference I somewhere, then I could put in the citation. Very simple, very easy to include, works very well. We're going to skip the mailings tab. It's when you're creating mail, which honestly, if you're doing mail, you'd be better off using email these days. So, I don't know, Word's been around for a while. Another thing we're going to talk about is this review tab. Now, this is really useful for anything you're doing, especially this first column right here, proofing. You can check your document for spelling errors, grammar errors. You can use a thesaurus, if I could say the word, thesaurus, to find synonyms for words you're using. You can also use this feature right here. If you have a word count that you have to meet, or if you have a word limit that you can't go over, it'll tell you how many words, characters, everything is in your document. Just quickly, if you're on Google Docs, easy way to do that on Google Docs is Control-Shift-C, and it'll show you all of that information. If you have somebody around you whose opinion you want on the document, you can also use Read Aloud to dictate the document for them, for you. You can also see what it would sound like if somebody else is having their computer dictate the document to them. Check accessibility basically allows you to see how other people would access this document, what it would look like to them. Is it blind people accessible? Basically, would their assistants, their series or their equivalents, be able to read the document, etc. You can translate your entire document to a different language, or if you are typing in a different language than English, you can set your proofing language to that other one, so that when it checks the document, it doesn't just mark everything as an error because they aren't words in English. Again, you can use this to add comments on different things. That's the same as it was in the past video where we had that. And then you have markups. You can draw on the document if you're editing it, or if you have an editor, you can tell them to do that. If you have multiple people editing, you can use track changes to basically see who's editing what, who's saying what, how people have changed your work in case they're doing things that you don't want them to do, maybe. And then you have accept and reject. Basically, once you've done check documents, you can either go through and individually accept or reject everything, or you can just say, okay, I trust it, and just accept all of the changes that it's suggesting for you. And then we have the view tab up here. So here we have a couple different views. You have read. All right, so that closed out my recording software, so we're not going to look at that, but it shows you basically what it would look like if it was in a book form. Web layout is similar, just without it being a book. It would show you how it would look on a website. Print layout is the default. It's how it would look printed in paper. Then you have outline and draft. Those are also different views. Outline, so if you're using these kind of headers and titles, outline will show you each of those. And draft will help you see just the text. It won't show you any of the fancy formatting. So then you have page movement. You have vertical and side to side. So again, that's kind of like when you're looking at multiple pages at once, do you want the first page on top and then you scroll down to the second page? So if I just go down to another page, right now it's side to side, first page, second page. If I have it vertical, then I would be first page, scroll down to second page. And so we mentioned last time, this is pretty useful, this little grid line on top and also on the side for your margins, and that's actually called the ruler. So right here on the show tab, show section of the view tab, you can include the ruler, and this kind of You can just move this around to edit your margins. So if I have this right here, moves it left and right however I want. Or I can use grid lines just to get an idea of what the rest of the thing looks like. There's also navigation plane and zoom, so you can zoom 100%. You can zoom in on the document, or you can make it zoom out to one page so you can see the whole page. 100% isn't a whole page, by the way. It's just part of a page. So keep that in mind, and I think that's all for today. Thank you.